Like to call the meeting to order. First off, we have some housekeeping items. I'd like to advise everybody that tonight is the first night we are going live with the council presentations. When council was elected, we took and set up a new committee. The committee was community engagement. Council has taken the position that we will now go live with the council meetings for the public to see actually the operations and handling of council and how they perform. So I ask people to speak clearly, speak to the microphones, and accordingly. Start off with some housekeeping. Congratulations and thank you are extended to the Royal Bank, agential workers at the Husky site, and other community groups who volunteered their time and did a cleanup on First Beach in Freshwater. Your initiative was much appreciated, and we encourage other community groups to get involved in an effort to keep our town clean. Thank you also go to members of the Special Olympics, the Community Youth Network, and students from Laval High School, as well, who volunteered time to pick up debris on Blockhouse Road. Congratulations to all residents who took the time to help with our drive. It is always great when residents come out to help us keep our town tidy, and it gives me great pride in our youth who take such initiatives. I'd like to also extend congratulations to all students who are finishing up their school year this month, and in particular to the Laval Level 3 graduates who are moving on to their next level of learning in post-secondary institutions. Good luck to you all in your future endeavors, and have a safe and happy summer. Now ask for a motion to adopt the agenda. Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Collins. All in favour? Those against? Motion carried. Next, adoption of the minutes of May the 22nd, 2018. I ask if there's any errors or omissions in the minutes. Hearing no errors or omissions, I ask for a motion. Motion by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second by Councillor Collins Power. Any question? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried. The action sheet from May the 2nd, 22nd, 2018. Excuse me. The action sheet, obviously the first part of the action was to webcast our meetings. We were having this prepared for quite a while, and tonight is the first night of the webcasting of the meetings. Congratulations for council and staff for getting this put together. Signage at Morrissey's Lane, Children at Play sign has been installed. A radar sign has been installed on Harbour Drive to deal with, trying to calm some of the traffic issues we've had on Harbour Drive due to the detour of the traffic in relationship to the project on the main highway. Capital Works projects. We've engaged Progressive Engineering Services to start a second phase of Dunwell's water treatment system to try to connect Dunwell's water and go back towards Clark's Pond. A CBA tender. Tender has been released and has been awarded. The tender is going to be coming out tonight for the award of the tender for the fire department. Lights at Unity Park. There's currently a tender put out. The tender is supposed to be in the paper tomorrow, and interested companies can actually bid on the installation of 32 new LED lights as a part of the town's initiation for energy conservation. Community cleanups, community consultation for May the 22nd, 26th, and June the 11th. It's a great job. Everybody got out and attended. They were the congratulatory notices on it. Certainly helped to keep the town clean. Seasonal cleanup workers. We had cleanup workers for 5 weeks, and the cleanup week was scheduled to end today, this Friday. Sorry. The Fort Louis archaeology site. Public Works toured the site with the archaeologists to ensure the integrity of the site is being protected, and we've already initiated some cleanup there. No other further on the action list.
Just one, I got one.
Yes.
One is there's a safety plan that was completed by a company. Can you verify that that is completed and sent in? That has, okay, that's fine. Okay, let me make sure.
Okay, so the town initiated a proposal for the development safety plan. It was awarded to a local contractor, local business, and it has been completed. Any other questions? Hearing none, we'll move on with the Executive Committee report. In attendance was Mayor Bernard Power, myself as the Chair, Deputy Mayor Keith Pearson, Councillor Kay Smith, Mary Green, Acting Chief Administrative Officer, and Debbie Gare, Executive Assistant to report. They met on June 18, 2018, a lengthy meeting, and they have 3 recommendations. First recommendation is the Council approved a recommendation to approve Amendment Number 3 to Contract Number CWWF-17-00089 in the amount of $25,942.81. Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Smith. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried. Next motion, Council approved a recommendation to approve Amendment Number 4 to Contract Number 17-CWWF-17-00089 in the amount of $10,736.98. Moved by Deputy Mayor, seconded by Councillor Fitzpatrick.
Just a clarification on these, anybody, these are the water lines in Dunville. So what there was an extension of time permitted. So this was to show the difference in, like, there's no overcost to the town. It's just that's within the contract, there was time requested and time granted. Correct?
Yes, that's correct. Normally the contract is given a specific time to be completed. Upon submission with the engineers and the contractor, there was additional time required, and it's been approved now for approval for payment of the additional cost. Again, it won't have an impact or an effect on the bottom line of the contract. Any other questions? All those in favor? Those against? Motion carried. Next, Council approved the dissolution of the land lease agreement between Hickey's Greenhouse dated September 2nd, 2016, pending compliance with the terms of reference. Moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, seconded by Deputy Mayor. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried. That's the only recommendations from the Executive Committee report. I'll ask now for the Public Works. No, the next is the Finance Committee report. Oh, yes, there is one more motion. Excuse me this. We're going to ask the Deputy Mayor to declare a conflict. The Deputy Mayor is involved with the property adjacent. The Executive Committee also reviewed an application from Coombs Funeral Home for commercial property. So the motion will approve the application from Coombs Funeral Home for commercial property extension at number 135-137 Veterans Way, Placentia, pending approval from all government agencies and written approval from the Department of Transportation for use of their easement for parking. While there were no objections received to the parking variance notification, the town accepts no responsibility or liability with the issuance of this permit related to parking. Moved by Councillor Hines, seconded by Councillor Smith. Any questions? All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried. We'll ask the Deputy Mayor to return to the chamber, please. Our next report is the Finance Committee. Councillor Kay Smith.
Okay, the Finance Committee met on June 12, 2018. In attendance were Deputy Mayor Keith Pearson, Councillor Jamie Fitzpatrick, me as chair. And this from the staff was Mary Green and Debbie Gare, Executive Assistant to report. The Finance Committee recommended that Council approve the accounts payable transaction journal dated June 6, 2018 in the amount of $3,343.78.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That Council approved the general accounts check register dated June the 6th, 2018 in the amount of $169,029.90 for checks numbered 026794 to 026865. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approved the visa purchases for the period March 28th to April 27th, 2018 in the amount of $906.90.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Hines. Any question? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the visa purchases for the period April 28th to May 28th, 2018 in the amount of $4,654.35.
Moved by Councillor Smith. Is there
There could be,
maybe a conflict in the
there could be a
state?
conflict in
Okay,
this
so I
one.
Okay,
don't know, yeah.
okay, again, we'd ask that if there's something there that will be pointed out, obviously the Deputy Mayor, Councillor Hines, decided to leave. Okay. Okay, motion to approve the visa purchases April 28th to May the 28th in the amount of $4,654.35. Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Collins. Any question? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried. I'll ask Councillor Hines to return to the chair. Just for clarification, there was a purchase of the visa that was related to Councillor Hines, which is back in. Motion is now carried. Thank you.
That council approved the award of paving of Fort Louis extension to English's Paving at a cost of $3 per square foot, totaling $23,000 plus HST with a 3-year warranty.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Deputy Mayor. Any questions?
Just good news.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Smiling.
This is the year of the waiting.
Several years in the making.
And
All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approved the expenditure of up to $6,000 plus HST for the purchase of a video borescope from the Public Works Department budget for camera exploration of underground infrastructure.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Councillor Hines. Any questions?
just comment, I guess, currently, to rent one of them for 3 hours is about $1,000 in HST. Public Works Department felt that using this equipment could actually speed up some of the jobs, like we've dug up places, that twice, not trying to find something, or trying to figure out if the homeowner is the problem, is the town the problem. This will help alleviate a lot of the problems and be more efficient and save us money in the long run.
And also records what we're looking at as well. So.
Good, it's a good job from the Public Works. Good explanation, Deputy Mayor. Ready for the question? All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approved the payment of invoice number 90666925 in the amount of $3,404, HST included. Expenditure was previously approved by council.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second, Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the expenditure of $1,625 plus HST to complete line painting on Harbour Drive. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved the payment of invoice number 6009 in the amount of $9,270 plus HST to Atlantic Technical Services for repair of electrical service at the Jerseyside Pump House. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All those in favour? Motion carried.
That council approved a one-time interest adjustment of $318.67 to an account pending receipt of payment in full of the principal on the account. So moved.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins. Any question? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approve an adjustment of business tax only in the amount of $252.60 to an account, and is prorated from the date of request, which was May the 14th, 2018, and permit fee is not refundable. So,
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any question? All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
and I'm going to declare a conflict for the next one.
Councillor Smith will declare a conflict. We'll ask the deputy to take over.
Yep. This was probably because it was work related for Councillor Smith, so if anybody's wondering. The council approved a business tax adjustment of $884.80 to account ATL AM 002. The business ceased operation on May 31st, 2018. This amount will be applied to account number M002, a related business registered with the town. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor. Second, Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
Okay.
Number 13, Councillor Smith.
That the council approve a business tax adjustment for an account in the amount of $745.20 relative to agricultural tax exemption for 1128 Main Road, Dunville, and for return of land previously leased from the town at 1128C Main Road, Dunville.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approve a business tax adjustment of $381.50 to an account based on income verification received from the owner.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approve the expenditure of $3,000 annual grant to Placentia Historical Society following the review and acceptance of their 2017 financial statements.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approve the adjustment of business tax in the amount of $2,333.31 to an account. Notification of cessation of business was received on May 11th, 2018.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any question? All those in favour? Against? Motion carried.
That council approve payment of $103.50 to the resident at 2-4 Lakes Road in Dunville for repayment of costs to pump out and temporarily remove their tank and to reinstate same to allow public works access to the infrastructure to repair a leak on the property.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any question? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council enter into a 48-month lease for the purchase of 5 self-contained breathing apparatus from Ackland's Ranger. Monthly payment will be $772.61 plus HST.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the payment of invoice number 31100 to Fireworks FX Inc. in the amount of $2,000, HST included, for the purchase of supplies for the Canada Day celebrations.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second by Deputy Mayor. All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
That council approve a motion to replace the bank draft submitted as per the terms of the waste collection contract. For the
Okay,
period-
one moment, Councillor Smith. The
Perfect.
next issue, we're gonna,
Oh,
Councillor
I'm sorry.
Fitzpatrick will be in a conflict, she was. Okay. Thank you, Councillor Smith.
The council approve a motion to replace the bank draft submitted as per the terms of the waste collection contract for the period 2018 to 2020 with an acceptable performance bond of equal value and is to be renewed annually.
Moved by Councillor Smith, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried. And that's
And that's,
Councillor Fitzpatrick. Okay,
that's the end of it.
that's it. Thank you, Councillor Smith. The next report will be the Public Works Committee report. Deputy Mayor.
Public Works met on June the 12th. There was myself, Chair, Councillor Hines, Councillor Collins was working, staff members was Public Works Superintendent, Mr. Green, and Mrs. Gary was the recorder. And the following recommendations were brought forward. Council approved the application from Donald O'Keefe for a residential extension permit for 72 to 74 Larkin Drive, Jersey side, with the stipulation that the finished materials be the same as the existing structure. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Donald O'Keefe for an accessory building permit, extend an existing garage at 7274 Larkin Drive, Jersey side, with the stipulation that the finished materials be the same as the existing structure. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Ellen Miller for an accessory building permit to construct a patio at number 28 Fort Lewis Road, Jersey side.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Brian and Tammy Barry for an accessory building permit to construct a patio at number 17 Kings Lane, Southeast. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor. Have we got a second? Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Dave and Vera Green for an accessory building permit to construct a shed at number 6 Swans Road, Placentia, with the stipulation that the finished materials be the same as the primary building. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Marcella Gregory for an accessory building permit to construct a patio at number 7 Flynn Street, Placentia. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins Power. All those in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application of Greg Land for an accessory building permit to construct a new shed at 285 Bonds Path, Southeast, with the stipulation that the finished materials be the same as the primary building. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Michael Murphy for an accessory building permit to construct a deck at number 1270 Main Road, Dunville.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Dion Bennett for an accessory building permit to construct a shed at number 505 Southeast Road with the stipulation that the finished materials be the same as the primary building. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor. Be second. Councillor Collins. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Lee Parsons to construct a shed at number 30 Frecker Place, Dunville with the stipulation that the finished materials be the same as the primary building. So So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from Donald Key for a fence permit for number 72 to 74 Larkin Drive, Jersey side. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Those against? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from John Ward Freshwater for a fence permit for number 10 First Street, Freshwater. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
The council approved the application from the Port of Argentia to establish a sign field at number 15 Waterfront Drive, Argentia, with the stipulation that a permit be obtained for each individual sign. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Talons. Any questions?
Just to throw a little bit on that, is that they're trying to bring all the signs together, so there's not signs all over the place, there's signs that be centrally located down there, so, you know, for distractions and stuff like that, so that was the deal with that. That was the reason why.
So every time there's a sign, a new permit has to be replaced?
Exactly, yep. They have to put his name just like anything.
Okay. Call for the question. All in favour? Motion carried.
Number 15 is Newfoundland power applications. The council approved the following Newfoundland power applications: to install one pole and one anchor near number 11 Kelly Crescent in Southeast, to install one anchor to provide service to Shoal Investment Accommodations Kitchen Camp Argentia, to install two anchors to provide service to Shoal Investment Accommodations Camp in Argentia, and to replace one pole near 745 Main Road, Dunstall. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Collins Power. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
I got some vendor permits at number 16. The council approved the following vendor permits. Application from Lee Wiseman to operate a mobile aesthetic service in the Placentia area with a monthly fee of $50 for the remainder of 2018 and a minimum business tax for 2019. Application from Janet Fratton to sell craft items at Placentia Mall. Application from Our Lady of Angel Parish to sell tickets at Placentia Mall. Application from Damien Mead to solicit sponsors for a Dun Lions Club Dog Walk, Placentia Mall. And an application from Bob's Fish Truck to sell fish products in the Placentia area. So moved.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second. Councillor Hines. Any questions? All in favour? Motion carried.
And that is it for the motions. There's some stuff there just on the Husky Service project that basically they sent in like government services, approvals and conditions that was received that we were looking for on different parts of the things we're doing down there. We talked about the paving quotes. We probably in talking about pavement, Chair, we may look at next year doing a standing offer agreement on pavement, something that was discussed, and maybe something that would be more uniform and will allow people to go to our site and be able to get the pavement and put it in for a price instead of going out looking for quotes on top of quotes, and make things a little bit better and it might make it even bit more competitive.
Yes, thank you. Just follow the procurement act.
Yeah. We're doing there's some road maintenance for 3 areas of unpaved roads that we're looking at doing. I know one of them got some few requests on was the Jersey side work down there to have that together, standing off agreement with Phil and have that road graded down there. And there's another couple of side roads that were not paved road, but they're still town-owned roads that we're looking at making sure they're kept in a good condition. The speed sign, basically we talked about that, and add another sign on Lower Road there for now with 30 to extend it to Lakes Road. There was some requests on C-cans, but we deferred that for this month, and we wanted some more information on that. We'll look at that. That's only deferred for a month for some requests there on that. We talked about there is some water issues in Argentia with the infrastructure stuff that, you know, we're looking at that, and that will go back to the committee for further review. We are in the process of purchasing a gas powered temper. That would be for pavement that, make it a lot better when they're tamping it down. And that would be more efficient for doing their job.
Deputy Mayor, was there understanding that you actually quote for the temper, because maybe we're at the paving now, was that dealt with by the public works?
Was that in finance?
We dealt with that in finance.
Was there a motion on that?
I never seen a motion.
I got a motion here, if you want.
Yes.
The Public Works Committee is recommending that council approve the cost of $2,300 plus HST from a local supplier to purchase the gas power temper.
Moved by Deputy Mayor, second by Councillor Fitzpatrick. Any questions?
The other thing is, there was one that come outside, was a little bit higher, but we felt that the local one was very, very close, so we decided to go with the local one that's paying taxes within the town.
Okay, it went through a process.
It went through a process.
Recommendation.
It was, the recommendation was there, not necessarily, was not much in the difference.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor? Motion carried.
There was, some leaks and stuff we're dealing with leaks and, inquiries on different parts of land and right-of-way access. Just common stuff that nothing needs a motion, but dealt with accordingly through our Public Works Department.
Okay, Deputy Mayor, thank you. Next committee, Public Safety Committee. Councillor Collins.
Our committee meeting took place on June 6th, and at the meeting was myself, the chair, Councillor Collins Power, Councillor Hines, and Ms. Green and Ms. Garris recording. There was no recommendations brought forward for a committee, so I'll just give you a quick version of what happened in the minutes, what we discussed in our meeting. We sent out letters to equipment operators to use Veterans Way instead of the other roads. It's causing a bit of an issue there for us. We also have our speed sign is picking up a speed of 115 kilometers was noted at Placentia and an 80 kilometer was noted in Dunville. So we're asking people to please cut down on the speeds. Also, in the next little while, we will be removing the sign on the lower road in Dunville, probably putting that somewhere else. We're trying to decide that won't happen in the next few weeks anyway. Fire department report is there. They're out for 14 calls. The RCMP has an updated report there with us. They've been kept busy also. The tender has been awarded for the fire department for the CBAs. And also we've made some calls on the issue on Ferndale Hill about the trees, and that is coming down across the lines. And today it was noted that Bill will be coming out to look and take down the trees that are surrounding those wires. And that's about it for.
Yes, thank you, Councillor Collins. I also identified that today the safety issue by the bridge in the boardwalk, the Public Works Department has mediated that area, made it now safe for traffic.
One of the things that I found very, very alarming in the RCMP report, 5 impaired charges. Very alarming in a short period of time. So, people have got to realize out there that, people's lives around the road, we got children and people, so hopefully the message gets out that don't drink and drive.
Speeds of 115 and 80 going into a turn too, quite alarming.
Yeah, definitely. And we try to do things like we've added the lines in the Dunville Low Road, we've added speed signs, but some people do have to take ownership when they're behind the vehicle, that they gotta slow down.
Obviously, we commend our RCMP for the work that they're doing within the town. Thank you.
Also, Mr. Mayor, I've sent an email to the Public Works manager about on the bridge and the walkway in the bridge. There's a lot of loose soil, and anybody who's walking could end up losing their footing and going down on the bridge deck or into oncoming traffic. So there's been an email sent out on that to the Department of Transportation to get that clear cleaned up.
You mean when you step off the bridge and come out to the slope?
No, when you're on the walkway, the bridge.
There's some discussion too.
Okay, let's
from,
keep direction to the chair, please.
There's some, discussion as well when you come off the bridge, some of the roadway has given way.
Yes, I think that was identified as well with the transportation works and the issue. Obviously, transportation works. I had a meeting as well with Assistant Deputy Minister of Transportation Works and Public Works Superintendent, Mr. Green, went around the town and explored various items of concern for us, which are of a provincial nature and a provincial concern. It's their responsibilities, so this has been identified. The Assistant Deputy Minister has gone back and we're looking at an alternative approach to try to get most of it corrected and rectified. I sent out a further correspondence today, dealing with the Minister looking for responses and replies. It seems like it's going to go proactive, that the department is actually going to try to partner with the town of Placentia and get some of the work all done, stuff that they don't see time to do, but we can actually partner with them to get it done. And they will look to compensate us accordingly. So hopefully that follows through and everything works out as planned.
Also, Mr. Mayor, bring light that this week we've experienced some vandalism up at the gazebo with some spray painting. It was our first day of the ferry coming in, which didn't go over very good with council. So we just ask people to just respect other people's property. And, I'm sure it took a lot of time. I was up the other day, look, there's a bit of covering up to get done, and I mean, there's a lot done, but there's still work to be done up there. That's taken away from other issues in the town, when we got to send our public works crew to clean up a mess like that, so.
Indeed, it's unfortunate when incidents like that happen. It causes an added burden to the taxpayers. It takes away from something that we should be doing because we have to correct, mediate the problem. If we see anybody, and we'll ask and encourage residents, if anybody see somebody doing acts of vandalism like this, they make a call to the RCMP and try to stop it in its tracks. Certainly not acceptable. The town of Placentia is not acceptable, and we will endeavour to do, if there's something counterattack, we will be asking the RCMP to go to the full extent of the law possible to try to prevent it. So, thank you.
That's it from our-
Thank you, Councillor Collins. Next report, Culture and Tourism Committee report. Councillor Hines.
Mayor, we had our meeting on June 6th, and I was present as chair, and Councillor Mel Collins and Councillor Kay Smith. We had Rhonda Powers, Manager of Tourism, Marketing and Communications, and Anita O'Keefe was the tourism assistant, was doing our recording. The recommendation, the committee recommends council approve to submit the application for provincial heritage designation for Our Lady of Angels Convent.
Moved by Councillor Hines, second. Councillor Smith. Any questions? All in favour? Against? Motion carried.
The Art Centre update, the Manager of Tourism, Marketing and Communications gave us our update, and again, dinner theatre shows are being scheduled, and we're trying to get more on. Summer's going to be busy summer with Placentia 350 and the Laval Union combined, as well as they have our Multicultural Day, which is June 27th. It's the 7th year, I do believe, is it maybe? The 8th year, thank you. The 8th year for this, and it's always a great celebration. And they do desserts with the Women's Institute, and we're also going to have Canada celebrations at Fort Frederick, similar to last year. We are doing taking the recommendations of some of the public from last year, as well as trying to trim the cost a little bit and make it just as enjoyable for all hands. So I think everyone will be happy with that. The Manager of Tourism will consult with Hickey's, because we're trying to cheaply or inexpensively keep our connections with the other communities or other towns that we've partnered with. Our twinning Spain community, they're actually sent us and planted trees in honor of Placentia over there, and we're actually going to get an oak tree from Hickey's. They're actually going to help us pick out the right one to plant here on behalf of Placentia in Spain. Voices Laval update again, it's in full swing. The Placentia 350, we have another executive meeting coming up, and that's all going well and in good conjunction with the Laval Reunion Committee as well. And I know that we've been contacted by one of our residents about the property, and it's a historical property, so we're really trying to stay focused and see what direction that the actual town has to take with helping preserve our historic properties. And that's not all fully the responsibility of the town, but maybe partnering with another group. And again, leading into that convent, our application that we paid for or approved payment for getting the engineering assessment done on the convent show that it's actually not they can't find the paperwork of the designation, even though it has it is designated there. We need to follow up with some more paperwork for the province to be a provincial registered heritage structure. We got the plaque, we don't get the paper, so we're working on that. I think that's really just going to be a rubber stamp application.
Thank you.
Skills training project again. There's a couple of great initiatives coming out through the province, and we're looking at partnering with the area development to take the lead on a submission for a skills training project in regards to great support financially and for educational purposes to help people become ready to work in the tourism industry. And I think that will open the doors for a lot of people to get work and actually to have employers, to have local people be able to work. We have on July 4th the Petite Chanteur de Montréal. That will be the choir, the boys choir, I believe, and they're going to be performing at the church. And we're hosting, I think I'm cooking their dinner here in the Arts Center, so we'd love to have all hands around for that. Good. We did Basque Festival, and again, I think a big congratulations to the council, previous council, for the work they did, and for our manager of tourism and engagement. And that will be on I forget the name of it. I'm so sorry, but they won an award for their Basque celebration they had last year, and they just received the award. Could the manager actually explain that to us?
It's the Provincial Association of Economic Development Association. This year awarded 6 awards provincially. 3 awards were for communities with population over 3,000, and 3 awards were for communities with population under 3,000. And we won an award for community project for the Basque in Placentia. And also, to add to that, the Port of Argentia also won an award, the marketing award for their new brand. So that's 2 awards that were received for this region.
Thank you. I apologize to the viewing public or anybody there that we have a response from an unidentified individual, but the camera system is just new and started, but maybe we'll get that corrected. Thank you.
We also have a couple of advertisements, which we've had a lot of French tourists come in the last little while, and there are notes all around the community. They're really glad to have them. And that has to do with a little bit of advertising we've done with French publications, and we're planning on doing another little more. We're exploring that idea because it is certainly beneficial so far. For the recommendations that we received from the Placentia Area Archaeological Committee, has been circulated. I know the public works have been over. There is a bit of a plan to not just restore or protect, but also to enhance and beautify. I know for this season as well as for next season. So we're working closely with them and our public works team. Courthouse gun, it's back, and we're not giving it to any other municipality. We're keeping all our guns, and it's a question whether we can possibly get the clock working again. I know growing up in my house, I had parts of that clock on our kitchen table many a time. So maybe we'll have to work on that. Wayfinding project again, signs. Signs have been a letdown actually this year in regards to provincial and even our own, what we're able to do and not want to do it. And we're hopefully within the next couple of weeks going to rectify that, even if it's a temporary solution, to fix a problem that we really aren't empowered to fix firmly for long term, but we can certainly make it a fix for it for the season. And we got rid of a seal carcass. There was all kinds of really busy, really busy month for tourism. And our public washrooms, we noticed that there are very little public washrooms available to tourists. As soon as you get off the boat, there's only a couple of private, building-specific washrooms that are open to the public, not really the public, the general public traveling, but really to the people who are going into those businesses. So I know that we do have to have some work to restore the washrooms that are here attached to the art center, which are supposed to be public washrooms. And I know that there's some upgrades and some repairs to make those accessible. And even if we make them accessible during the weekdays only, there is a dire need for that to be rectified.
Yes, so hopefully we'll direct that to the public works. They'll get that better addressed.
Yep.
Thank you.
That was it.
That concludes the report. Thank you, Councillor Hines. Next report is the Recreation Committee report. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
The Recreation Committee met on June 6th, and in attendance was myself as chair, Deputy Mayor Pearson, Ward Pike and Catherine Smith was in order, and Councillor Collins Power was absent due to work. So we met with the Softball Association Committee, and they just finished their registration, and just to get an update from them what the registration numbers were, because this is the first year that the Placentia town is not doing softball. It's actually gone to the association. They are pleased to present that they had 148 registered, and they were still anticipating more registrants to come. So we just discussed some issues that they'd like to bring forward with respect to the field maintenance and rentals. And we committed to assisting them over the next few months, as we have in the past, in making the transition to the association. We discussed the arena, some of the directives that were still left to be done. The lights were already discussed in a previous committee. Some of the directives that have been completed are the overhead doors are installed and working. The doors are turned in the opposite way, which it should be directed. The storage room is completed. The panic hardware and door closures have arrived and installed. And the light for the Zamboni room is also being installed. We are still diligently working on accessing the Laval Strength and Conditioning Room. And we haven't made much progress, but we are still pursuing that issue. We also did a site visit. The deputy mayor and the manager of recreation and community programming did a site visit of the playgrounds, identifying maintenance and priorities, as well as I think some of the public works staff. Was it public works?
No, just myself. Just myself.
I thought Danny was involved as well.
They did some repairs before we were out. They did.
So obviously there was a group that.
There was a group that did. So based on that, we're now in the identifying areas of our priority, which will come through in the next committee.
Have any of the safety issues identified been repaired?
All the safety issues.
Yeah.
Thank you.
With respect to freshwater playground, I think that we should applaud Freshwater Community Center. They have constructed a beautiful playhouse that has been put at the Freshwater Playground Center. So a great applause goes out to them. We did develop a field rental agreement, which is standard with a lot of municipalities, just to ensure that people are adhering and respecting the property. We also discussed the Recreation Advisory Committee of our expectations around that and starting to compile a list of potential members. The plan for the summer, the MOU with PATA has been reviewed and signed by the mayor and has been returned to PATA for final signature. Ball field upgrades, we identified some upgrades that need to be done, both as a committee and in our conversations with the Softball Association, which included dugouts, the pitcher's mound in both fields, and 4 posts in the Placentia ball field, which will come forward in the next couple of meetings. And there's one directive left, I think, at the arena around the fan for the compressor room. And we're in the process of obtaining quotes for back to the committee, moving forward.
Thank you, Councillor Fitzpatrick. Is there any update on the Aviva project? Was there anything moving further on that?
There was no update on it.
Because we don't want to start to lose sight of that too.
We met, I'm gonna say 5 weeks ago with the committee. And I know that the committee was going back and looking as well at some of the issues that have been identified.
Yeah, I understand there's the
And we met with the engineers.
manager was going to do some more. Right? So just, let's not lose sight of the project, make sure it's kept on the,
It's still on our radar and high
Thank you.
priority.
thank you. For the
That's
report.
it for recreation.
Okay, next, community engagement and communications report, Councillor Collins Powell.
Our committee met on June 5th, and in attendance was myself, Councillor Fitzpatrick, and Councillor Collins. With regard to staff, the manager of tourism, marketing, and communications, Ms. Power, and Ms. Smith was our reporter. We don't have any recommendations this evening, but we did have for this meeting. Just a couple of items we already talked about, but I can touch on briefly. Of course, was our community cleanup was on the 26th, and it was a great turnout for that. Good turnout. We'd like to see more people, but certainly a good start for the cleanup for the season. And as you thank the groups who were involved, Special Olympics, Community Youth Network. We had a couple of young girls in the Southeast, and of course other groups were involved as well. I'd like to thank them. Our next community cleanup initiative will be a corporate one for businesses, and that will be done here probably in the next month or so. Our community consultation meeting was on June 11th, and we had a nice turnout. We had some good conversation with residents around town beautification, and we also provided some updates for residents. There was, I just a note here, not in the minutes, but there was a couple of people I know was comment that there wasn't notice around about the meeting. And I just wanted to say that there was notices posted on social media, Municipal Minute, and of course we will be discussing those at our council meeting. So if people are following our council meetings, they'll note the date of our next ones, and I think our next one will be sometime in September. But certainly watch out for the update on that date, we'll have it. Municipal Awareness Week was back in a couple of weeks ago, and the grade 6 class participated in the council meeting. And thanks to Councillor Smith and Deputy Mayor Pearson, Manager of Community Recreation and Community Programming, as well as Ms. Power, Manager of Tourism, Marketing and Communications, for being involved with that. There was also a mock election there, and from what I hear, it was great participation by the students, and we really enjoyed their day here. We've already talked about the traffic calming statistics in the safety report, and as Councillor Collins stated, we're looking at relocating that sign to a different location to get some more data for the police and for ourselves to be aware of. There's also, with regard to the emergency water shut-off procedure, there was an issue, the issue of notifying water shut-offs to residents and then delaying them for another day. Advanced schedules will need to be developed by Public Works to put out, and the reason why we have delayed that, change the date. So we're going to look at doing that, and as well, staff in the front office are going to be trained on the Placentia Aware program, and they're going to provide updates, update the addresses in our notification system. We also, we did talk about the garbage collection schedule, and Councillor Fitzpatrick removed herself from the meeting at that time. It was just with regard to the advertising, so our residents can be aware of the schedule. That's the one we have up on our social media. We have it up on Facebook, and it's available at the town office, and it's getting great reviews, so our residents know when recycling day is and when garbage collection day is. Our next meeting is scheduled for July the 11th.
Thank you, Councillor Collins Power. Again, yes, a great community meeting that you had, the consultation meeting. It was the third community consultation meeting that we've had since the election in September 27th. I think it's a great format, and as anything, as it starts, it's going to grow. Every meeting, it seems like it gets a little bit more. The more advertising we can put out to people to let them know and encourage them to come out, certainly is important. It seems to be getting great reviews. Most people who've been there actually acknowledge and think that it's a great idea. And, you know, it gives them an avenue there to discuss concerns. The concerns may not be addressed totally at the meeting, but council does bring back the concerns, and the respective committees will deal with the issue. So it's certainly showing to be a good effort and a good impact, and under your chair, it's a good job. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other questions? We've had numerous correspondence. We'll move on. The numerous correspondence to the town, excuse me, or back and forth. Have anybody got any questions?
The only one I got for correspondence here is correspondence on the rec camps. And I know there was nothing firm there. That was on May the 18th. Just want to make sure we can still try to push to obtain that for the town. I don't think there was any other update. I know there was other parties looking for it also within the town, but.
Yes, it's been obviously since the Americans left, the council has made numerous discussions from as far back, when Mayor Hogan was here. I remember that there was consultation and correspondence back and forth. Recently, the Americans have turned the property over to the federal government. We again have, since being in office, sent numerous correspondence to ministers, MHA, so on, looking for their support, and even the MPs. It's the understanding that now it's turned over to the federal government. The federal government is looking what to do with the disposal of this such asset. And we've also said there was more correspondence to Minister or MP McDonald and Minister Gavin Wallace to support the town in actually acquiring and taking ownership of this valuable asset that's in the town of Placentia, especially with its recreational and potential impact there as well. So again, yes, we're going to be still pursuing it. It's an avenue that would be greatly beneficial to the town, and we're looking forward to a positive approach and positive from the federal government. Any other questions? The other one is there's been numerous response with the Route 120. Again, the council has been working with Transportation Works. We've had some meetings, we have some correspondence, and we are actively trying to pursue workloads and a work plan to actually get most of the works that's being identified by the committee, as well as being identified our own public works superintendent, to get this stuff corrected and mediated in this short season. So bear with us. Everything doesn't happen overnight, which sometimes it seems longer, but we are in a process and we seem that it is moving forward. Any other questions? Hearing none. Other business of councillors. Councillor Hines.
I mentioned earlier that signage seems to be an issue when you're coming up out of Argentia. There's nothing, absolutely nothing to indicate that we have a beautiful historic town, full municipality, but we have a national park. So I know that's not our fault, but it is our problem. And I know that the provincial government have issues with their timeliness on getting their signs done properly. And I know that we've done, and previous councils done a tremendous effort in trying to get that done and corrected. But there are signs within our town, so we need to fix it. We're going to miss the boat, pun intended, on all the tourists that are coming in. So if we just put together a sign, erect it down almost by the Y, and just put it up, and because there's nothing again that they just
again we'll send that through the committee for recommendation.
Right, that needs to be looked at.
Yes, for sure. In light of that, I know that one of the questions and concerns that was brought to the ADM when he was out was the street lining. And last week, I believe the street lining on the access road coming to town, I did see the line painters were actually doing it up. And previously they didn't do that till later in the year.
They actually, I think they stopped around the trailer park. So I haven't seen nothing from there to come into the trailer park, but I think that's where it stopped.
Again, we'll certainly.
Let alone the nuts and bolts of actually getting there safely. There's nothing to say, welcome to the beautiful historic town of Placentia. We have lots of services and shops, and we'd love to have you visit something.
Yes, for sure. Thank you. Councillor Collins.
Summer's approaching out there somewhere, but anyway, I noticed that there's some kids in the town riding around without their bike helmets, and I strongly suggest that parents and guardians and adults probably remind kids to wear helmets for safety reasons. And that's about it.
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Councillor Collins. Councillor Fitzpatrick.
First of all, I want to congratulate Brady Judge, Alan Linehan, Gavin Pitcher, and Blake O'Keefe. They're 4 young boys in this town that has made Teen NL under 14 message. They participated in over a month of tryouts, and they'll be traveling to Ontario for the Canadian Fast Fish Championship in August, and will be joined by players from 6 other different associations. So I'd like to extend congratulations to them, as well as good luck. And
I apologize on that, because normally the information our manager of recreation is usually giving me the updates, and we have none there. But certainly sure, yes, we like to acknowledge children when they succeed and represent the town of Placentia, and hats off to all.
And the other piece of news I have that I got was from St. Anne's School. They were the provincial winner of Canadian Tire's Hero of Play program. And basically what happened was Ms. Paula Martin, the ed teacher up there, submitted some pics on how she brought the Olympics to St. Anne's while the Olympics were going on, and how she promotes physical activity. As a result, they got awarded a Canadian Tire Play Day, valued at $10,000.
Great news, good job.
And a visit from an Olympic athlete. So tomorrow morning at 8:30, the event will happen at St. Anne's, and they'll be joined by the Olympic gold medalist for curling, Janie Karab.
Thank you. We encourage anybody that has the time available to come out and support our local athletics and such a great event. A great accomplishment for sure. Thank you, Councillor Fitzpatrick.
That's it for me.
Deputy Mayor.
Just a couple of things, reiterate your remarks and congratulations to the grade 12s and the grads, and good luck in their future endeavors. More their promise next week, and also their ceremonies, award ceremonies, so good luck to them, and congratulations also to all the teachers for getting through another year. The other thing is, just want to remind residents, the Dunville boil order is still in effect. There's about 17 lines left to be completed, and that's due by the end of June, they're figuring. So once the lines are completed, then they'll have a government person come out and do the water testing on the lines, and when it's safe to do so, we'll let residents know that, that the boil order is being lifted. But right now, the boil order is still in effect. I had some questions on that in the last week or so. And the last thing is, I attended a meeting last Friday with the Husky, or I guess the safety committee that Husky set up in the area. I must say, I was quite pleased with some of the initiatives that are ongoing, and making sure that the shift changes did not coincide with when school was either starting in the morning or getting out in the evening, or making sure they were cognizant of when ferry traffic was coming in, making sure that they're going to install some radar signs in both ends of one in the beginning of Argentia, one at the end coming in and going out of Argentia. So I must say I was very encouraged in some of the things that were happening. I mean, the RCMP is around the table, government service around the table, the Port of Argentia is around the table. There's a number of people, 2 or 3 different site services for Husky, the head of safety, occupational safety for the site. So there was a great representation. So I am very pleased to say that safety is concerned for them also. And they do recognize that there is people speeding leaving Argentia, and they're making a part of their toolbox in every day, and letting people know the importance of getting through the community safely. And I'm sure there's going to be more on that in there as you sit on that committee going forward.
Yes, thank you, Deputy Mayor. Councillor Smith.
On June 7th, I attended the Royal Canadian Army Cadets 63rd Annual Review in Dunville and St. Anne's, and it was a really enjoyable evening. So I would say congratulations to the leaders and cadets and parent reps and everybody involved in such a worthwhile youth organization.
Yes, everybody. Exactly. Heads up. Good job. Thank you. Ready, Councillor Smith?
Yeah.
Councillor Collins Power.
I just had a couple of items, and I should have mentioned this in my, well, this is kind of a safety, but just to thank the cleanup crew for doing a great job, public works crew around town. It's an ongoing thing, of course, but every little bit helps, and we certainly notice a difference. With regard to the, we're not gonna meet before Canada Day. There's some events, I know Councillor Hines commented on the next one's coming up. So we're gonna have, that'll be on Facebook and town's website with regard to Canada Day festivities. I know that I'm glad that we're got this webcasting up and running for our residents. That was something that was requested along the way. My other question was with regard, a couple weeks ago, our last meeting, we put a motion forward approval of a dash cam for municipal enforcement officer vehicle.
Yes.
Just wondered if that was, does anybody know if that's been received and it's been installed in his vehicle?
He might be on, I think the NEO has been on holidays for the last couple weeks, I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's going through its process.
Okay, yeah, I just wondered because
Yes,
like, it'd be a good thing to have, and, you know, we're not gonna tolerate the deliverers and the RCMP are on board with us, and we made that clear at our community meeting, that people have been fined for that, so I just want to make people aware that
And again,
Big Brother.
yes, council is taking very seriously the cleanup of our town. You know, it's just not an event that, you know, you take your cleanup and we do a week's cleanup and then it's sort of forgotten about. We are rolling it out slowly but surely. You know, we had some cleanup, we had major cleanups. We're now looking for corporate sponsorships to do some other things. We're doing adaptive spats. But certainly sure there, this whole team of, you know, the next few months you're going to be seeing is, you know, trying to help keep our town clean. You know, and everybody has a part to play, and everybody, you know, working together, hopefully we'll get the town cleaned up and try to be acceptable. Okay, so good job with the rollout to that, and more information we can get out, fine. We are doing some signage as well about, you know, littering so, and, you know, let everybody know that the RCMP have been contacted, and, you know, if you're throwing out your garbage or fine, the RCMP will be able to give you initial tickets for the littering offence. So we're active, we're certainly really strong about this. We're trying to get a lot of this stuff that's needlessly thrown around and get it cleaned up.
It takes away from our, you know, our resources that we need for public works, you know, we've been developing besides.
For sure. Okay, thank you. Any other comment? No?
Oh, one more, sorry. Congratulations to the RCMP and the Special Olympics who had their torch run this past Father's Day. Oh, yeah, and happy Father's Day, sorry. But I do believe they raised over $5,400.
Oh, we.
So they're going to be using that money towards our local Special Olympics, who are actually going to, our whole group are going to Stephenville in early July. That's what I'm saying, because it will be before our next meeting. Early July to compete in the provincial. Yeah. So it's going to be.
Again, it shows great, you know, the spirit of the community when you're coming to such an event, and, you know, again, not totally advertised out there that, you know, your groups should still come together, people still support such a great venture.
It's a great need in the
And it's
community.
a great day. So congratulations to the RCMP and the Special Olympics for such a successful fundraiser. Any other comment? As for a motion to adjourn, moved by Councillor Fitzpatrick, second. Councillor Smith, all in favour? Meeting adjourned.